Did you get... Hey, everybody. So let me get this. Yeah.
How about that? How about if I click the right button? It wouldn't be a stream without technical issues. Thanks, Jake. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good day, whatever that would be in your neck of the woods. I'm Dave, the Game Master, and this is Mike. We do this weekly. It's more like bi-weekly. uh, just to talk, basically. We talk about the most recent news. We talk about, well, when I say most recent, it's been 2 weeks, so some of this is old. We talk about some Kickstarters that we have found that we might be interested in. And then we just talk about RPG stuff, because that's what we do here. So, I guess, unless you have something else to add, Mike, I guess we should start with the news.
Yeah. Got all kinds of alarms going off over here.
Oh, no. The first one, which I am super excited for, is that Arkham Horror is going to the board game that you can't win, that you always die, and anybody who says they win cheated. Um, is going to actually release an RPG system. I'm very excited for this one because I really like Arkham Horror, even though you lose every single time. Um, it's gonna be a D6 pool system mechanic. It's gonna be divided into 10 scenes, each playable for about an hour. It's gonna include 5 character portfolios, 24 6-sided die. So they must have positive and negative type situation because they have 12 black, 12 green. So
Green,
there
yeah.
must be like a Bane or Boon type situation. But Fantasy Flight, if you haven't played the Fantasy Flight Arkham Horror game, have you played it, Mike?
I did briefly.
Oh my
Out
god,
of my
it's
buddies. We
such a
started to
good
play
game.
it, and yep.
You will lose every time, but
Yep. Well, but that is, I have found that has been the nature of a lot of these magic and horror style games.
well,
I'm trying to think of what the M word is that they use for these.
I'm a big Call of Cthulhu
But
fan to begin with, anyways. So, which we'll find out because I also put something on here that's kind of old, but it looked really cool. So it looks like it's going to be available at Gen Con. So anybody going to Gen Con will be able to pick it up. And then sometime in August for European countries. So, well, for in stores for August. So looks like they already have it done and printed if it's going to be ready for Gen Con.
yeah.
When is Gen Con?
It's usually the first week or so of August.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have Gen Cons at the beginning of that month, and then you have Dragon
Dragon
Cons
Con.
at the end of.
I'm hoping, knock on wood, I'll be going to Dragon Con, but we'll see.
We were trying to get a family event out to Dragon Con.
I have
And if not family, at least myself and my wife.
I have a ticket and a hotel, but I also lost my job this week, so we'll see.
Oh.
See if I can get another job in time. Second one, and this one is one personal to myself. Chaosium, the makers of Call of Cthulhu, and they have a really neat D100 system, is having a contest, design challenge. You submit a pitch, budget, outline, and market analysis and selling points for a new game using their system, the D100 system. Submissions are due May 31st, so I probably won't do it because that's not much time. Because I have so much crap going on between now and then. But it's really cool. I think it's a great idea. I hope they come up with something really cool from it.
Yeah, 10 people are getting 500, and then the top 3 are getting 2K. That's
2K is
that's
nothing,
enough to
no
make a
shy.
difference. Yeah.
But they also get full. I think they, if I remember correctly, they have full access, full rights to the game. No, you retain all ownership of the work. Okay, cool.
Right. And if it's something they're trying to get published, I mean that's a great start, especially for those that are trying to get out and get seen and get heard.
So should I
A good
rework?
start.
Should I rework Grimwood City into being a D100 system? But yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to see what games come from this. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it because you never know. There might be something unique that comes out of it. So that one would be kind of cool. Oops. And then another one that's old, couple old ones. NASA came out with their own TTRPG.
Yes. Well, it's more like a module.
Yeah, it is more like a module.
Or an adventure, excuse me. Module, yeah.
It's a game adventure. But it's interesting. I want to download it. I haven't downloaded it yet.
I got it when I saw it, but I have not stopped to pull it up to sit down and read it yet.
I mean,
To
it's
kind
only
of see
44
where
pages.
it's at. Right, where it's at and what it's about, other than
I know
hunting
it
for the lost telescope.
Yeah, it's based on like the Hubble telescope disappearing. So that's interesting. Hey, I'll play it. It's old news, but I figured we put it on here.
It'll be a for our home game. It'll be a good transition in environment. We've been trying to figure out how do we get them into a space opera or space scenario, not necessarily space opera, but space scenario for an adventure. So it'll be a good point.
You know what you should run? Vast Grim. Just put them against the most deadliest aliens on the planet.
Though my oldest would love it,
all the gore.
Everybody else would kind of be like, eh.
Just just have limbs being ripped off and stuff. I know. This one I'm excited for, and I don't know why I'm excited for because I haven't finished the books. Terry Pratchett Discworld is getting redone. It originally was made for GURPS, which I want to love GURPS, but I don't. I think it's overly complicated. And which is funny because it's actually fairly simple to play. It's just the character creation is overly complicated. But that being said, I'm interested in seeing where they go with this. I thought this was the actual article, but it looks like it's not. But I have tried reading The Color of Magic 1,000 times, and I just can't get through it. I was on a stream today, and they told me a couple books to go through instead of Color of Magic, so I'm going to try those books and see if I can get through it. They say Color of Magic is kind of hard to get through, so I don't feel so bad now.
It has been well over 30 years since I read those books. Those? I think it's those ones, yeah. 20 or 30 for those. So I have to go back and reread them in general to remember a lot of the lore.
And definitely I'm definitely interested of the lore because it is right up my alley. Fantasy comedy. It should be right up my alley. But Color of Magic, I think I got to the point where he goes into the city with the walking um treasure chest and or whatever, it has multiple legs, and I thought that was cool, but I just didn't get anywhere with it. uh so I try not to talk too much about Wizard of the Coast, but Wizard of the Coast is releasing a new adventure that is going to take players through the multiverse. That being said, they have a prequel to that adventure. That if you pre-order that adventure, you get this prequel adventure. Now, it yet does Vesanari. I think I'm saying that right. I'm probably saying it wrong. It introduces the cult of Vesanari. Vesanari is a god now. He used to be just a pathetic wizard, but throughout the history of D&D lore, he's evolved to godhood. Pretty evil guy. And now he's the story of the adventure that's coming up is he wants to control the multiverse now. So Planescape, Forgotten Realms, Eberron, and all of them. So it's an interesting. It's kind of like they saw Doctor Strange Multiverse of the Madness and went, "Oh, we can do that."
We have
And then
someone who wants to do that too.
and then hired somebody to do it. Good news is I saw the video that they describe, and she seems the person who wrote it seems very upbeat about it. Like she's very dedicated to it, which is not something you can say about WotC writers as of late. When they come on interviews, they don't have that upbeat energy usually. It's just, this is my game, this is what we're doing. But she was excited for it. That's the word I was looking for.
Good.
But I'm not gonna get it. I'm not in the WotC world anymore. Um, but this one's set in Neverwinter. The pre-order. Um, so I loved Neverwinter. Neverwinter was a good city. But no problem, DM Tales. You didn't miss much. We're just going down the news. So Tombs of Gygaxia, or however you want to say it. It's by Luke Gygax.
Yep.
Tales of Osarga.
So my one claim to fame with the Gygax family is I met Luke Gygax actually.
Did you?
I did. In Iraq.
Ooh, interesting.
He was, if I'm thinking of the same individual, and I'm pretty sure I am. We were deployed. I was in the chow hall, and I look over to my right, and I see the name Gygax. I stopped. I was like, and I looked at him, and he caught me looking, and he goes, "Yes, yes." So, oh well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Said hi. We shared about 5 words, and then went about our way.
He seems like a nice guy. The interview I saw about this, he seemed really nice. So basically, he just wrote an adventure to help celebrate his Gary Gygax. So
Yep.
it's very old school, he says. So keep that in mind when you go to play it in 5th edition. If you do. I mean, he made it for other systems too. It's very ambiguous in its design, which is fine. But it's on Kickstarter. But technically it's news, so because it's Gygax, it's news. Did you find anything else for news? Because that's all I got.
I wasn't able to get this to pull up on my stuff. So, um, along with the Discworld,
Yep.
there was there's a free release on Discworld to kind of lead in for that. Unfortunately, I can't get any of this stuff over here.
That's okay. I switched to just us. So there's a free release for it?
Well, it's not a free release. It is a what's the word I'm looking for? It it's not Discworld. It's somebody else's creation, right?
Oh,
But it's
okay.
in Discworld, and they're trying to recreate it inside that realm, and they've released it out. I can't, like I said, unfortunately, I can't get it up on this screen. 1 in a million. A 1 in a million chance is the name of it.
1 in a million chance?
A 1 in a million chance. That'll pull up the information.
Got it right here.
Um,
A 1 in a million, a Discworld tribute. And they're making it in the new system. Interesting. Okay.
and then that's a board game. No. So Tainted Grail, I've talked about it a couple times. The board game is creating its own tabletop role playing game. I don't know what RP system it's coming out in. Um, this is just one of those I happen to see of interest. So I'm curious to see what the RP system they're using for it is, because it is a very same thing as like Arkham Horror. It's a very gritty, everything is against you, and it's very rare that you actually make it to the end of the board game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see the TTRPG system that they use for it and how that affects and how they're able to present that world with that concept.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. So. Uh. But okay. Anything else that you've seen?
Um,
Because I thought I covered most of it, but
Kickstarter has one out there called The Long Road Home, and it's interesting. My understanding of the premise of it is that it's about you're back home, you're returning from adventures, right? But you're sharing the adventuring. The adventuring still happens in the game, but it's you're sharing those memories, and as you're sharing those memories is when you're doing that adventuring, if you will, with the characters. So you're rebuilding. That's where a lot of your roles and stuff come in. Um, but the idea is that you have returned from your adventures. So I'm curious to see to dig a little bit deeper into that one and read a little bit more uh, into the idea of how they're putting it all together.
if we are gonna start Kickstarters, let me bring up the Tales of a Saga, which is a sword and
Mm.
sorcery um, adventure game. Um, it looks really interesting. Um, it it's very OSR heavy, but it has special dice system. Uh, it's low fantasy, yeah, like not much magic, like
Mhm.
or you know me and saying things, Wes. I'm not very good at pronouncing things. Argosa.
Argosa?
Agosa, thank you. I am not going to say the name of your con. I cannot. I've tried a million times. I always screw it up. Always. But I am going to be at his con in April. April 12th to the 14th in uh Palma, New Jersey. What was it's to benefit his church and the food pantry. So if you guys are in Lower New Jersey, that's why I have Mike there, so he can make up for saying the names that I can't say. um,
Go on, kiddo.
but it looks really cool. Um, it looks like a really cool adventure. Um, amazing art in this game. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely hoping I have a job by the end of the month because there's a lot of cool, amazing games coming out that I really want to try. Um, that being said, let's see. I also had this is the one. Cats of Cthulhu is getting a new edition.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, and I'm I'm here for it because the first one was really cool. So I'm here for a 10th anniversary. Yeah. Um, it's got 22 days on it. But they're doing a 10th anniversary edition, and it's coming with like a whole bunch of cats have been unlocked, and special dice have been unlocked, and there's going to be a fan art section if they get to 40K, which I think they're really they just reached it, so that's going to get unlocked too. Um, it's a very rules light system, but I'm I'm here for it. Cats and Cthulhu, sign me up. Um,
We already knew they were evil. Now we're just proving it.
but I'm totally up for 10th anniversary of this game because it's fun. I've played the original. It's so um, so I'm excited for that. The other thing I'm really excited for, and even though it's 5e compatible, I am excited for it. This is Tomb of Intangible Treasures. Now, it's not what you think. It's not just like a regular treasure book. It actually is um, like the chapters are like history. Um, I'm trying to think what other. I was hoping it would be listed here. I think it is. I think I went by it. It's basically. Oh, here it is. So you get boons, blessings, charms, packs, titles, histories, events, trainings, and a whole bunch more. Like, it's very it it gives you mechanical ways of updating your
Right.
character, but it's also
Hmm.
very narrative driven. Like, I know for the advanced trainings, there's a lot of prereqs for it. Same with the histories. And what's interesting is the histories, the titles, the packs. They have a level based generation for it. So it's at like first, third, sixth, 11, and then 16. They have different versions based on what level you are. So you can
Okay.
continually update your character as you go with these historical things that might have happened to him or her. Um,
Very cool.
and like the titles give you like bonuses for like
Hmm.
it's just really
It's
interesting.
it's that boons is what I was thinking of, but that same idea, just in a different flavor.
Yeah. And they're all narrative driven, which is what I like. It's not like, but there's also a mechanical aspect to all of them
Right.
because I feel it's important to have narrative driven stuff, but
Hmm.
as a min maxer at heart, I like to have mechanical things too. Um,
Right.
it
Well, you got to have. So you say min max, I say optimize, right?
yeah, same thing.
But yeah, absolutely. Um, but when you build characters that way, there's got to be something there to help with the character background. Me as a player, character background, character growth, so that I have somewhere to go with that character. Otherwise, I get really bored of that character.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's great.
I
I can
need
dish out.
something for the character to do.
Hmm. Yep. So it helps to give me direction, things to work with, places to go, reasons to keep me in the game. Absolutely.
Master of the Realms, Wes, is that a RPG system that I should check out? I'm not going to remember, so that's why I'm typing it in now. It's a map maker.
It's on both Steam and Kickstarter.
All right, I will definitely check this out here. Um, I'll add it to my wish list. Never mind. I will definitely add it. Oh, you can export models for printing? Interesting. It looks like it's hex based, so you get the hex based model, and then you can. Hmm. Look, Wes, you know I have no job. Stop tempting me. Um, and the last three things I have are things like there's a Frost Tribe model set that somebody's offering the STLs for, and it looked really detailed, um, and really well done.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. Well, I would be here for it. Um, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
I have a huge plethora of STLs and nothing to print them on.
You want anything
Now,
printed? Just shoot me a
my
thing.
my youngest son is really getting into 3D printing, so there might be something. His birthday's in April. There might be something coming. We'll
If you
see.
want recommendations, let me know. I own both
Okay.
an FDM and a resin, and I have a lot of experience doing it now. So,
Okay.
I will definitely be happy to recommend something for you. Depending on where you go with that. If he wants it for D&D and that type of thing, you're gonna want to go resin if he's old enough.
Probably.
Okay.
Oh, Realms of Chimera is still.
All right.
Sorry.
So,
Sidetracked.
Rekla Blade, Curse Breaker. These looked interesting because the reason why I put these on the list was it's a game, but they've also unlocked some models, and the models seem to be not white people, which always makes me happy. Um, because too often it's very stoic on the type of because the game is kind of more inclusive. Um,
Hmm.
they have more inclusive type models, which I was excited for, because I'm a big, as I just said, I'm a big 3D modeler. So, um, I mean, they have their elves and they have their white people too, but there's more inclusivity than what you usually get from, and they're kind of cool and cartoony. So
Yeah, I felt when I first looked at them, they had like a, I'll say anime, but maybe cartoon, just in general, a cartoonish feel drawing. But that could also be from the vivid colors
yeah,
and kind of the way the shadowing and stuff is done. That's what I thought was interesting about them, was just in general for what we have that's already painted, the way they presented themselves. Um, Serious enough to be fun to play with, but not so serious that it's Warhammer or
right.
Mage Knight or right something with a little bit more fun and flavor and upbeat feeling as you're messing with them.
And the adventure sounded really cool. So I mean, it's in this world where it's shattered and it looked really cool. Um, I should get some STLs and learn how to color them for VTT tokens. Um, it's painting is interesting.
Uh,
Um, I'm getting better at it, but I'm not there yet.
Kudos to you all that do it. My father-in-law loves making World War II dioramas. I may have talked about it already. I'll hit it real quick. Loves making World War II dioramas. Absolutely amazing and fantastic. Um, and the depth of detail. I I got lost making model cars and painting model cars, and that's big flat surfaces.
I want to be good at it, but my ADHD and autism makes my hand shake. So it's really hard for me to hold still enough to not get paint where I don't want it.
Yeah.
So it tends to I tend to have to repaint things 3 or 4 times because um, if you just want to do virtual models and painting, Hero Forge has a really great system where you can paint right on the model and you can export that texture with the 3D model for virtual tabletops.
You know, I am so surprised that a lot more of the VTTs haven't capitalized on it, um, to be able to
Foundry
play with it.
has a
Right.
partnership with them, and so
Foundry
doesn't
does. I think Tailspire.
Tailspire
Tailspire is
has
another 3D
has
one that I
yeah.
think has a one with them. I was amazed back in that stepping back whenever D&D Next was back on the horizon. So that was what 2015, 14, 15, somewhere in there, if I'm not mistaken. Um, that it wasn't being capitalized on then when Hero Forge and all that stuff first started to come out.
I will say, Wes, painting in like painting a 3D model outside of Hero Forge is not easy, but I could definitely teach you how to do it. Um, it's you can do it with Blender, but it takes some skill. Um, so it will be a skill you would have to develop.
So talking minis and figures and painting and stuff. Have you heard of the Demi? I just dropped the link in chat.
Yes.
Not
Oh,
that
I wanted to
not
talk
not that
about
I'm
this.
proposing people do it because I love to see how technology gets right, how we advance technology, how we integrate technology, how we use it in different ways we wouldn't have thought. So
I totally wanted to talk about this. Thank you for bringing it up.
that when I saw that, I was like, that is really cool. I don't want to spend the money on it. I'd like to see it be downsized a little bit more,
Uh,
but
this isn't the
something
one
I would
I
be
saw. The one I saw was um,
yeah
LCD token. Oh, why can't I find it? Um, that's gonna drive me crazy. Um, but this does very similar to what I was thinking. Where I guess I closed it. I didn't mean to close it. So this is a hologram though.
mhm,
The one I was
yeah
thinking of is the Pix is very similar to the Pixel one, where it's a screen
right.
that you can update via a phone.
hmm Thank you. Yeah, that
Um,
I do remember seeing that one here recently.
but this isn't the same one. This is a different one. The hologram thing's cool, but I don't think it's going to be beneficial.
Well, no, again, it's the how do we how are people integrating those ideas, pull them into D&D and then carrying it forward, or pulling it into role playing games and carrying
Yeah,
it forward.
there's the one that just does fat front and back. You're right. They have an LCD screen on the front and the back, and then you can hook up your phone to it and you can transfer your images there, and it will actually you can show your HP onto it, and you can show your other things that you want to do on it. You can just show it there, and you can when it reduces, you can actually see it reduce. The only problem I have with that one, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't save it, it's too big. Like
Right.
it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
double the
This
size
the
of a figure, and it's like that's too
yeah for
big
the
to. Yeah, it's
yeah for
tall.
that
It's just
demicube. Yeah.
not even the Demicube, the one I'm thinking of. It's one very similar to this one. Um, but it's they're just too tall. The technology needs to be reduced. Um, I mean, it would be okay if it was like 38 millimeter instead of 28 millimeter, but this thing's like 48 to 60 millimeter. It's like double the size of a token. So any
Oh
kind of
wow.
like terrain that you have, it's pretty much
Mhm.
useless with it. Um,
Wow.
I wish I could. I wish I saved that link, but I didn't save it. The last one that I have for Kickstarter is SideQuest 20's Epic Dungeon Loot and Battle Mats. Um, they looked really pretty, and I'm always a sucker for a pretty map. Um,
I think that was it.
so, um, the extras, what it's going to come with extra tokens and that type of thing. But man, those maps are just so pretty. And then they've already got to their advanced ones. They're going to have Arctic. They're going to have coastal packs and desert packs that you can get. It just looks pretty, and I'm all for pretty. So, um, looks like they have a Patreon too. So if you can't back them here, you could probably back them on Patreon and get maybe some maps that are very similar.
See, these beautiful things are why I want to do a screen inlaid table.
So there is a
I the
um
arena's out.
the arena, yeah.
Yeah. And it's absolutely beautiful. But it doesn't have enough recess for me, right?
Uh
I like their 2 to 4 inch recess tables that who is that? Who is it that makes the arena? It's not Mythic Tables. Anyways, but they have a 2 inch recess and a 4 inch recess on their tables because we like to play miniatures or we like to be able to actually leave the game out. So the 2 inch recess would work, but that one only has, I think it's just around an inch in recess
um yeah, I can't
with the
find it.
screen.
Arenas
But
to
yeah,
cover on a
they did some the tempered glass over top of the screen. That way you can still play games
right.
over top of it. You can still do other things besides miniatures and using it strictly as an LCD screen. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. I don't have the money to pay for that though.
No, me either. But it looks really pretty. Um
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just I don't have enough in-house games going right now, but I was thinking I might just get a projector and hang it from the top of my ceiling because my ceiling's big enough that tall enough that I could hang it from the top and get the map on most of the surface.
My wife won't let me do this with our TV right now, but maybe in a year or two. Um, so many years ago, before we went to Germany, so that's been at least 7 years ago, I purchased a DIY attachment for our 55-inch TV that made it into a touchscreen. And I've casted Tailspire onto that with Tailspire's touchscreen capability, and it still interacted and worked well. So, though it's older technology, it's still functional technology that would work if we ever replace that TV and I'm able to build my own personal tabletop table. That would work for me being able to do that and then integrating in Tailspire's touchscreen and moving forward with that. I
Wes
look forward to that. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but
Wes just says he just puts a TV on the table.
yeah, yep. I don't have the spare TV right now to do it, but I agree that is the easiest way. Just build a little box to hold it, keep it up off the table, and then do that.
Yeah, because it could overheat if you, depending on the TV, if you just lit on the table on the side. Probably won't. It's an LCD, but it's a possibility. Um, but I definitely would like to do that when I get a more in-house games.
Yeah.
You lay some on the side and you can't really see them. Yeah, you'd have to get a LCD that has a high viewing angle. You're right, Eskellum. Welcome to the
It's
stream.
true.
Um, but that is all the news I have. Did you have anything else you want to like to show us?
No, I think you got
I
and
got
with a lot of
most
the
of it.
stuff I have, uh, I am excited to see. I won't stay a whole lot on D&D. It's what I'm stuck with because it's what my kids focus on. So it's where I stay a lot. But I was excited to see they're moving Adventure League onto D&D Beyond. So
It makes sense.
more from a consolidation perspective, right? That's what I'm excited for it for. And then I think they have a third party company that they're looking to hire for a lot of the managing of it to keep things still well organized, well scheduled, and coordinated. So
Yeah, I did see that. It's a good idea. I'm fine. I'm glad they're actually doing that. It should have been done years ago. Um, but they didn't own it years ago. They only started owning it what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
yeah,
D&D Beyond. So I it makes sense because that's where the VTT is going to be too. So
yeah.
let's introduce Mike's kids to Numeraire and Cipher.
Oh, I am all for introducing my kids to other things. It's the getting the family into something else. But I very easily jump from thing to thing, game to game, concept um, system to system. I enjoy the differences between those systems. But my job previously, that would be like 9-ish years ago, close to 10, as I was building adjudication systems for the government for the war games that we were playing there. So looking at a lot of these systems, understanding how they were playing and the mechanics of what they were playing, and then being able to take those concepts back to what I was doing actually at work and say, hey, what about if we did something like this? Um, Not that they were necessarily dice rolling, but the interactive and interactions between entities um, is what I used a lot of that for. So I'm all for jumping from system to system. Can't get the family to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mike's had an interesting career path. He told me his career path initially, and it's an interesting
I think your take on it, Dave, was pretty accurate. It was homebrew for the government.
homebrew for the
That's
government.
that's what I was doing for quite a while.
Um, so I guess um, a few things about Grimwood City that I should probably announce. I have officially submitted uh, Grimwood City for Easy D6 to Drive Through RPG. So I'm just waiting for approval from them so I can order a proof. So I can get the proof sent to me. Because it's my first thing, they have to approve it before I can do
Right.
anything. So hopefully, knock on wood, everything will go smoothly. In 3 to 5 days, I'll be approved. I can then order the proof. In about 4 to 6 weeks, I can uh, get the Easy D6 version out.
Very
The
nice.
Grimwood
Congrats.
City um, Ironbound system is going to take a lot longer because I might not be going through drive-through for that. I'm going to submit a proof from drive-through, and I'm going to submit a proof from Lulu, which is also a self-publishing company. Um, and then, but they self-publish on Amazon, so they have Amazon context. So I might go that route. I haven't decided. I want to see what the quality of the books are. Oh, speaking of new books, uh, Monsters of the Dungeon, Brave the Darkness. Uh, I just got this. This was a Kickstarter. It's really pretty. Uh, uh, this is a 5e system. Um, but it has a whole bunch of monsters in it, and the monsters are really clever. They're all theme based on dungeons. There are the arcane dungeon, a castle dungeon, a manor dungeon, a thieves guild dungeon, a tomb dungeon, a wilderness dungeon, and a mountain dungeon. Not that they have the dungeon map in it, it's that these are themed characters that you could put into one of those type of dungeons. Um, and there's interesting ones, like there's let me see if I can find one here. Um, like this one. I don't know if we can see it on camera. Yeah, we can. This is kind of Feast of Burdens. It's basically a giant food table that comes alive and eats you. It literally, that is what it is. Um, it's a large aberration, chaotic evil. It has a wild boar roar, a vegetable steam, a duck smoke, deadly drumstick, and throw pie attack. Like, some of these are really interesting. Um, Treasure Hoard is another one. It's basically a treasure hoard that is a monster. Um,
A new spin on the mimic idea.
yeah, and it's not just those. Like, there's things in here like, um, there's a doppelganger, doppelbeast type thing, and then a shadow creature. It's really interesting. I contacted the designer of the book, and he's agreed to come on to the show. It probably won't be until after PAX, but um, I'm gonna get him on because it's really well done. And this was actually printed through drive-through. Because I asked him because it was well done in the images. Um,
Right.
so I'm gonna see. That's what convinced me to get a proof from drive through and a proof from Lulu to see which one is going to be better. It also is what made me decide to go with EZD6 um in for drive through. So um what else? That's pretty much all that I have going on. Um,
Yeah, hearing the name of that, Monsters in a Dungeon, makes me think of the what's the name of that book?
Monsters
The
of,
monsters know what they're doing.
just so it's clarification, it's monsters of the dungeon,
Right.
not in the dungeon, of the dungeon.
Oh, did I say? Oh, I'm sorry.
Because there is one monsters in the dungeon and it's not as well done.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can get it on drive through. So um, monsters of the dungeon. Um, so any questions from chat? Let's start there. I know E. Skillam's there, and he always has questions. Because that's all I got. So if there's nothing from chat, then that's pretty much what we got for today. Because it was a very low news week, couple weeks. I think everybody's waiting until August when both Dragon Con and Gen Con happen. How was your games with your family this week?
So we didn't this week. Family was all out camping. If you were here in Virginia, or at least
Oh,
Northern Virginia, you know that it was cold and rainy, and it was that way the entire time. I don't think anybody, them or the scouts, had a dry speck of clothes on them by the time everybody came home. It was just wet, 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 and
I
cold.
did forget something. Thank you. Thank you,
Oh, Daggerheart.
Wes. Um, Daggerheart came out with their open beta playtest, and on top of that, the Nexus, the demiplane.com has it already. So you can create characters and stuff for Daggerheart right in Nexus. Um, so you can actually create your characters once it thinks about it. Um, right in Nexus. So
Nice.
you can pick whichever ancestry you want to do. You can do pre-gen characters. You can name your own. You can choose your heritage. You can choose your class. You can choose your experience. Um, he says, Northern Virginia, bring the family to Palmetto for so
Silicon.
no, but
I
no,
thought I had.
I think I'm gonna end up. It's exciting that this is out. I mean, it's all pre-beta, so it's all beta. So they say right in the beginning when you view it for the first time, it says
Hmm.
it's beta. Expect things to change.
Right.
Like right here, it just says this is active development. There is a whole bunch of typos and grammatical errors and all of that, so you should expect major changes. Yeah, we could
Yeah.
do a playtest, Wes. Set something up. We have enough people that behind us that we could probably get some players to play it. They it believe I believe there is a oh, I thought there was a small adventure for it too. Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta sit down and read it though, Wes. I haven't read it yet. That's why I forgot about it. Oh yeah, quick start adventure. I knew there was an adventure. So they have a quick start adventure that we could do. Um, so that would be kind of yeah. Let's plan on that, Wes. Maybe after PAX we'll get together and well, I mean before PAX we'll get together and talk about it, but after PAX we can have it happen. I'm right now in PAX mine. PAX East is happening, and then your thing is happening in April. So I'm like super busy right now, which is good because I need stuff to take my mind off things. Um,
Wow.
hey B4, how are you doing? Um, but yeah, Daggerheart, I definitely want to try. It seems interesting. Um, like, but it's interesting that you can create characters for it already in Nexus. So they've already like,
Well, I putting it out like that helps with accelerating getting it into a system, right?
right, it
In,
does.
into a source or whatever you want to
Look,
call these type of systems, but into
thanks,
mass
Wes.
people being able to get to it.
Um, I actually found Nexus to have it. So I ended up emailing Nexus and be like, what's your policy on getting systems into this? And what do I have to do to get you there? Get there. I did that
Right.
and start playing. I want to get some GMs to start playing my game. So I want
Hmm.
to hire some GMs and start playing is a good way of finding DMs.
Yeah.
So okay way of getting finding DMs. Let's rephrase that. And I was not ignoring you, Array. It's just you didn't really say hi. You just went to lurk. um, but I would like to find a system other than Foundry to put character generation in and that type of thing. Um, Interesting. I'm definitely going to have to sit down and
Through
um,
this.
look through this and Yeah. So delete that character because I don't need it. But that would be interesting to sit down and go through. I kind of expected Daggerheart to be on Nexus because Obscura is. Um, but yeah. So what else am I got going on? I'm getting ready for another Grimwood playtest. It will probably happen sometime after PAX East. I'm really focused on PAX East right now. I do have, if you are going to PAX East, which I don't think anybody watching is, but if you're going to PAX East, I do have a Grimwood playtest going on Thursday and Friday. And probably I'm going to put one on there for Saturday and Sunday also. Um, they're the Thursday and Friday are both at 3 p.m. I'm thinking the Saturday one I'm gonna try to do an 8 p.m. one, but I'm an old man and I tend to go to bed by then, so we'll see. um, which is why I'm hesitant to do it. At that point, I'm exhausted and I just want to go to bed. Which is why my streams only last till 10 p.m. and not till midnight. But yeah. So my son has finally decided which game he wants to play. He wants to play No Thank You Evil. He's decided. I gave him an option between No Thank You Evil. And there's this really cool game called the Little Game Master. I don't know if that's kind of visible. It's kind of visible. I'm just gonna go bigger for right now. The Little Game Master. And what's really cool about this one is the character sheets, and these are pre-gen characters, but the character sheets have just images to describe what they do, or if your character is person's old enough, it has the word descriptions on it too. So it has both. It's you could dry erase marker. Yep. And it comes with the starter pack that I got. Not only has the core rulebook in it, which has a whole bunch of monsters and stuff. Actually, this is the core rulebook. It has all the characters, pre-gen characters in it. In the book too. But they also have a Frozen Towers, which is an adventure for it. So you have an adventure that you can do to grasp, and this is the map for the world. And it's D20 based, so it's very Dungeons and Dragons style. So if you're trying to, and it came with this amazing GM screen, and on the other side, really well done. The artwork is all done by the author. He does all the illustrations and all of the writing for it. I met him at PAX Unplugged. But it's really well done. I was hoping he was going to choose this one because it's more of my style of game. but I told him he had to be fantasy based for this one, which is kind of true. It's all fantasy honed, and this one he can be a superhero or whatever he wants to be. Um, this one is more um, instead of being fantasy based, it's basically imagination world. You got your sci-fi world, you have your horror world, and then you have your Jack and the Beanstalk and Mirror Mirror on the Wall, your fantasy world, and then you just have a straight uh, good guy bad guy world. Um, this one uses the cipher system, but a watered down version of it. Um, and Wes has played this, and he says it's really fun. DM Tales. So, but those are the games I offered him, and he chose to go with No Thank You Evil because he could be an owl that has. How did he put it? An owl that has a bazooka that shoots rubber ducks. So, um, they did not hear you during the entire time. I just realized.
Am I muted?
No, because I went to another screen and you weren't on that screen, so you didn't have vocals. But that's all right. You didn't say much. You kind of just laughed most of the time. But yeah, so no, thank you. So he decided he wanted to be an owl that has a bazooka that shoots rubber ducks that explode when they hit the enemy.
Yeah, if I could get my kids into something, it would be, I'd love to throw Besom at them. Big Eye, Small Mouth. I know that's reaching back quite a while.
Yeah,
It's a
it is.
D6 based system, but throw something like that at them as well to pull out whatever creativity they have to throw at it. That was another very fun, very fluid, very open system for options and design and development.
After I get him into the system, I want to quickly move him to easy D6.
Expand to something. Yeah.
Something that's a little bit easier to run.
Something just to get them in, wet their whistle, get them really interested, and then let's build that character over here. Or let's build a character like that over here.
Right. That type of thing. So, why is chat not working right? It's up there. Okay, never mind. I forgot. I have it reversed on this. I don't know why I do that to myself. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I am going to release before PAX East a character creation video for Grimwood City Ironbound. So how to make a character in the Ironbound system. So that should be releasing. I'm gonna film it this week and hopefully have it edited by the time I go to PAX. So that's the hope. It might have to wait till I come back from PAX, but we'll see. Depends on how well the recording goes. Which, after watching myself, because I watched a Twitch streamer who happened to play my video at the same time for Pirate Board, and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of work. I'm okay in live sessions, but I have a lot of work if I'm going to read from a teleprompter. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Does chat have any questions yet? Or are we going to call it a day? I think we're going to call it a day. Unless chat suddenly has major questions that we needs answering.
Pink. No. Blue.
It's actually, yeah, pink, blue. African or European?
I don't know. What?
Let's see here. I've got some new people. Let me see if anybody is playing right now. Of course, all the new people that I just signed up for aren't playing. Oh, here's somebody playing D&D that only has 6 viewers. Crap. Commercial. So we'll have to wait. You're in a rare mood today, B4. I want to make sure this place is going to be good before I send you guys over there. Yeah, we're going to go over. They're followers only, so, but that's all right. We'll do it anyways. I'm hopped on Mountain Dew and sugar. That would do it. It's a rare mood when he's chatting this much. Let's go to this the dinner and a game. They're playing Emerald Sectums. Dinner. You know what? No, I won't do that because they're followers only. I don't want to do followers only. And she is on break, it looks like. Oh, jeez. Oh, here's another small guy. I like to do the small ones. They're followers only too. What is with people doing just followers only? That's not fun. Here we go. We'll go over to these guys. Somebody new. Let's do somebody new we haven't done before. Magic Academy RPG. They have 19 people. Let's go take a look at them.
Milkshakes.
See what's going on with them. All right, folks. I will talk to you guys again. I will definitely be on sometime before PAX East because we have at least Grimwood on Friday. But I'll probably try to do something on Thursday depending on stuff. Personal stuff. And no, it's not that personal before. All right, let's go see them. Let's say hi in chat and raid them and get all this taken care of. You guys try to have a great night, and thank you again, Mike, for sticking around.
No worries.
And boom. Let me check if they responded.